Hello again, operators. Welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. As always, my name is James Oman, and let's get on with it. As you might remember last time, we had just taken over Bald Peak Mine on our way to the peninsula and the lighthouse. Let's continue north and see what we come up with. Now, as I've logged out and logged back in since we took the mine is going to be repopulated. So we're going to go ahead and skirt it and make sure that we don't actually encounter anything on the way. So, like the driving, what we're going to do is, as we're cruising along, if nothing really eventful happens, we'll cut bits out of it. That way you guys don't have to, watch me fumble through the woods. Obviously if I do something colossally stupid, I'll keep that in so you guys can laugh at me. So, you get notices on your map, your mini-map here, pretty far out. So you can kind of use that to find enemies, to hone in on where they might be. And if you do that, typically it's going to bring you to some sort of installment, whether it's a little group of people patrolling or whether or not it's a full-fledged base. It looks like we might have a checkpoint here. So nothing too massive, just a checkpoint set up on a road, and there's going to be a few guys here. And sometimes there's a crate or two with something decent. So let's go ahead and see what we can find out. Let's use that sensor launcher and go ahead and find out who's home. Oh, looks like we got a few people. So start with the Overwatch. Good night, sweet prince. Alright, let's move. Looks like we've got a heavy over here. Let's go ahead and take him out next. Now heavies, they're pretty easy to deal with. Remember, all you got to do is hit them twice. So once to knock their helmet off and once to put a bullet in their face. Later on, there is quite a nifty way to get around that. Once you beat one of the lieutenants, you'll get a sniper rifle that ignores armor, and that's quite nice. But that's one of the signature weapons. We'll get into those once we find our first one. So who else do we have down here? That's a breacher. Anytime you see a little arrow like that above their head, you want to be really careful of those guys. These guys will come up on you and do a lot of stun damage. Now, they can stun you long enough to get a second shot off before you can kill them, and if they do that, 2 shots will end you. So, let's move forward. See if we can get ourselves into some trouble, or whether or not we're going to be slick about this. Okay. Let's go ahead and change to our main support weapon, and we'll go ahead and start clearing some of these assholes out. I've got a clear shot on this guy. Good night. Oh. That might have alerted them. Hey, look, they found a dead body. Let's go ahead and get off the road. That way they can come and check for if they like. Oh, doesn't even look like they're going to stop. No? Okay, cool. Makes it easier for us. These sentinel guys are just dumb as beans. That's all there is to it. Alright, looks like we have one last one, and he's going to be outside. It's going to be easy to deal with. Oh, shit. No. Clear. And this guy didn't even know.
Oh, fuck.
Alright. Problem solved. Checkpoint clear. Let's go ahead and find out what's around. Bring up that mini-map. That way we can take a nice close look at what we got. And, okay. It doesn't look like it's inside. It looks like it's outside. That's cool. Got some information here. We're going to go ahead and grab that crate first. Oh, wait. It is inside, but what the hell? That's weird. Oh, I see. I just needed to explore that. That's okay, we got this taken care of. Alright, got an LMG. That's not going to come in handy right now, but maybe later it will. Dismantling things will get us mats, and we can use those to go ahead and upgrade things. Let's investigate this and find out what kind of information it's got for us. Always get those bivouacs first. That way you can get around the map without having to worry too much. Alright, and on we go. Oh, looks like something fell on the ground over here. Let's make sure not to leave anything important behind. There we go. Alright. Hey, look at that, a DRM. An MK14. That's not a bad one. I do prefer something like a Dragunov or an M28. But that one's not bad. It does get a little bit jumpy though. Let's go ahead. We've got two guys. Good night, sir. Oh, good night, sweet prince. Problem solved, and we can move on. Let's go see what they were guarding over here. Didn't look like it was anything too important, but might be some information or some explosives. Ah, look, just some explosives. We probably don't need them, but hey, that's fine. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I could have taken the bike, but, you know, the rolling fields of grass are just so beautiful. And the weather is so nice, so I figured, why not? We'll get us some exercise. What I might do, if everyone wants me to, is I might try to do a nice recording of the game and try to build it into a cinematic experience of some sort, like maybe make a Breakpoint the movie. If that's something that you guys want to see, please let me know.
We're under attack. Take cover.
Because the writing, I believe, is very beautiful. It's a lot deeper than it might seem on the surface, but you do have to go look at things. And in order to find everything, you have to really take your time and do all of the missions before you go and try to take on Cole and his squad of lieutenants. So there's a helicopter. Sorry, we're just dodging him. It looks like there's a patrol over here that we're going to go take care of as well. We just didn't want to deal with a helicopter at the same time, so these guys should be pretty easy. Problem solved. Alright. So let's pick up our stuff over here. But the writing, I believe, is very beautiful because it's kind of it's one of those things that really, at least for me, it tugged at my heartstrings. And I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean when we come to it. So, look forward to that. Alright, here's another patrol over here. We're going to go ahead and murderlate them. Make sure there's no civilians or anything. Oh, they're seeing me. But that doesn't really matter because by the time they saw me, it was too late. Okay, a couple of things that we should go ahead and look at doing. Let's take a look at this before we go on any further, and I totally forgot about this. Forgive me. Let's go into here, and you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner you have the icon for your class. You'll click on that, or you'll hover over it, and it'll show you what the requirements are to master this particular skill level of that class. And you can go in here to look, or you can go ahead and click on it and then add it to your pins, and that will allow it to just sort of stick around for you, and it'll show you every time you either complete a task on the list or upgrade to the next level of that particular class. So another thing, if you press the interface tab, the interface goes away. The minimap stays only if there's a danger nearby. It'll go away if you get out of range of any dangers. And it stops it from cluttering up your screen quite as much. And this is something that I figured out when I spent a little bit more time with the game personally. So I felt like I was fumbling a little bit with the systems, and I needed to get a better handle on it before I went forward and showed much more of it. So that's what I did. But I have a really good handle on it now, so I should be able to give you much better tips on how to handle the things you'll encounter. So the mini-map stays up because we do have people here in front of us that we can deal with, which is convenient. Before, I thought that when you pressed the tab, the minimap went away, and it didn't show you when the enemies were about. And just sort of by happenstance, I found out that it was very much the opposite. It showed up anytime that there was a threat, and that is very convenient. And anytime you complete anything on your objectives list, it will automatically come up for you as well. And it's as easy as hitting tab for a moment to bring it up and take a look at it, and hitting tab again to have it go away. Let's investigate this to find out what we have. Let's go ahead and find that TAC 50. We can always use a TAC 50, and getting the blueprints early on is definitely good, because as you get later in the game, you're going to get drops that are going to outdo any of the blueprints you have. So the blueprint shop is going to become fairly useless to you as you progress through the game. But in these early parts, it can be quite a good way to advance your skill level if you need a few points in order to get yourself a little bit past that hump. Here's another group of people we need to take care of, and easy peasy. Problem solved. Looks like they were hoarding some information. Now remember, any piece of information you find is going to illuminate a place on your map and show you what things might be there. So let's look for that laser sight. That laser sight, that ATPIAL ×3. It's a great laser sight. I like it more than the single laser. The triple laser is, to me, more, at least aesthetically pleasing. It also helps to kind of see the laser a little bit more clearly if, you know, maybe your eyesight's not so perfect. Oh, let's get down so we don't get spotted by a helicopter. Alright. Let's get going. Horn of Plenty, a nearby mission. Hey, look at that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Horn of Plenty. It doesn't look like we're too far from it, and it's a side mission, so we might as well go ahead and get it done on the way. So, operators, it looks like we found our second point of engagement, our second full base. Let's go ahead and get a drone up to find out what it is we can take a look at. Alright, drone out. Let's see if we can find the assholes. Looks like there's not very many of them. A couple of them out here in the roundabout. I'm marking 1, 2, 3 total. Easy to take care of. Let's go ahead and move to eliminate the threats. Looks like we've got our number of chests here, so we'll be sure to go ahead and check those before we leave. But we do want to eliminate these two breachers first, because these are the guys that are going to give us the most problem if we go into full combat. Because they will rush you, and if two of them rush you, you're not going to have a chance. You want to end that threat before it ever comes about. So, breacher 1 down. Breacher 2 down. And let's go ahead and get this other unit up here. This will be easy as pie. And problem solved. He was harassing a scientist, so that was good that we took care of him. Makes it a whole lot easier to deal with. I don't have to have nightmares about killing a man because he was already harassing somebody. Alright, let's go ahead and check this box and see what we get. Hey, look, a beanie hat. And it is a better gear score than what we're wearing. Now remember, we have the cosmetic stuff on, so our gear isn't really going to change visually, but we do want to go ahead and make sure that anytime we get something better, gear score wise, that we put that on in order to keep ourselves relevant. Alright, those there, looks like we're pretty good. Now, one of those things, you see that it changed the way that the vest looks, and that's because the vest that we had on was the same as the cosmetic vest. So I've noticed that when you put the cosmetic on, if you get a vest that matches it, and then you switch out from that, it'll turn the cosmetic off. So you'll need to go back in and make sure that the cosmetic that you have is the one that you want. It is a little bit strange. I don't know why they do it that way, but for some reason, that's what happens. Just keep that in mind when you're switching things, that if for some reason a piece of equipment changes how it looks and you didn't want to, that's very likely the reason why. Here we go, another box. Oh, look at that. An HTI. Now that's good. We like a big nasty sniper rifle, but it is going to be a bolt action single shot rifle, and right now we're running that Barrett, which is that trigger pull for shot, that semi-auto, so we need to keep that in order to, you know, I think throwing more rounds downrange is more important than a few skill points. Looks like, or a few points on our gear score. So it looks like we need to go back downstairs. Don't you love how I interrupt myself? That's because my brain is trying to entertain and work at the same time. Now, I'm not very good at multitasking. This is a new challenge for me. With any luck, I'm not doing too horribly bad. And, oh, we need to go up one level. See, we jumped all the way down. We didn't want to do that. But it was a way to get inside. We were outside. Okay. And here we go. Here's our information. We'll pick that up and see if it's anything interesting. USP Tactical. Okay, some more information and a collectible and our mission giver.
Hey.
Information. Okay, bivouac, obviously.
Any idea where this location might be?
There's somewhere I know you can look.
Awesome. Thanks.
Alright, we'll take the collectible. Discovery. Aim. Oh, so here we go. We'll take a look at these. So we'll start with the Skell Excavator. So this is the farmer, the logger, your basic workhorse. And, you know, it looks like a pretty decent industrial looking drone. I like it. AIMs are one of the bots that you'll find typically patrolling around bases and helping troops out. These are pretty nasty machines here. The trick is to shoot them in their eye. Now there are stationary drones that have the same guns on them, and you do the same thing. This little eye here, right in the middle, this right here is your kill point. Also, they'll have a glowing chassis underneath. If you knock the armor bits off with something, high caliber, or if you hit it with some explosives, that'll typically work. Then you can get to the soft bits underneath, and that's typically where you drill them in order to take them down. But this thing right here, if you hit it, it will typically stun them, stop them from moving for a little while, so you can get those explosive rounds on in order to get those armor off. Now, it has a really good tactic of turning armor towards you. So if it's lost a piece of armor, it'll change the direction that it points at you in order to keep itself protected for a little while longer. Now, it'll only use these tactics if it knows where you are. If you're managing to hit it stealthily by hitting it with a couple of rounds, moving so it doesn't know where you are, hitting it with a few rounds, moving so it doesn't know where you are, then typically you can avoid that. But that little eye is going to be the start of everything. Hit him there when those guns come out, and you can stun him, and if you hit him with enough explosive rounds, you can get all of his armor off, and then it'll just be a soft spot all around. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to this doctor over here. Hiya, Doc.
I'm not here to hurt you.
You're not with Sentinel? Those assholes. They've killed everyone.
I'm sorry, but listen. I need to know what you can make with this equipment.
With the right set of blueprints? Anything. And I mean literally anything. Ours is a prototype. It fabricates metal alloys. You just need the raw materials and it prints in any chemical configuration. The applications are limitless. Our generator could revolutionize the energy industry. The parts for the device and electricity from dirt. And that's just the beginning.
Electricity from the dirt. Or weapons from the sky. Listen, the application could be dangerous in the wrong hands. I get it.
We were on the verge of changing everything. Those dumb soldiers took the two components the printer needs to convert the raw materials. Science finds a way to make power cheaply, and these bastards steal my equipment to make bombs and guns. If you can get those parts back, I could continue my work. It could really make a difference here.
Well, you know, protecting the fate of the world from Sentinels seems pretty important. The only question is, where am I going?
There's a port in Smuggler Coves. It shouldn't be too difficult to get to from here. The second is on a Sentinel convoy. I'll give you the route.
Okay, so that is one hell of a 3D printer. Being able to print with metal alloys is a massive thing, because as you know, alloys are a molecularly complex sort of substance. So getting a 3D printer to be able to sort of parse that out and then print in a way that would sort of keep the molecular integrity that alloys are so well known for, and that's a pretty beefy fucking printer. I'd like one, except for I don't have, $90 billion that it probably cost. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that we've got all of the extras that we've got here. Oh, looks like we... Oh, where the heck? Oh, there it is. I was having a hard time finding that box icon because it was well hidden from my eyeballs. But there we go, we found it. So let's go ahead and make sure that we know where the last one is. That's not going to be too hard to get to, I don't think. So, okay, so these guys here, you're going to find them roaming around some bases. They're annoying, they're non-lethal, so they can't hurt you, but they'll start making a racket and bring every troop in the place down on you, so kill them before you kill everything else. Not to mention, they just, like I said, they make the most annoying singular sound in this entire video game.
What do you want?
Nothing. I was talking about the robot over there. What do you want? You got... Did you... I mean...
No. No.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. I'm on my way then. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, wait. What? The guy distracted us from the last box. We wouldn't want to leave the juicy box and what's inside. Okay. We just walked through all sorts of clean rooms. That guy was in an entire, environmental suit, which means whatever he was working on needed to be clean. And look at us, we are dripping blood and mud. Wonderful. Alright, that's a small installment, not very much to deal with. Let's go ahead and see. It looks like we've got... on the way to where we're going, one half of this mission that we've just started. So, with any luck, we'll go ahead and make our way to that at least. This particular session doesn't seem like we're encountering very much, so who knows? We might make it all the way to the peninsula. If not, then next episode for sure. Alright, it looks like we've got some assholes up here. Let's go ahead and neutralize them. Sneak our way in. So, let's see. It wants us to kill enemies using Armor Buster. So let's do that. Activate Armor Buster. So, we're going to kill 1, 2. Alright, so that takes us to Sharpshooter rank 3. And we need to kill 20 enemies with a sniper rifle or DMR. Kill 3 enemies while holding our breath. Kill enemies with a sniper rifle or DMR from over 150 meters over 150 meters away. 150 miles. That would be one hell of a rifle, wouldn't it? Alright, pushing forward. That's not going to be too difficult to do because we have the rifle for it. This thing has the range and definitely the damage capabilities. Oh, look at this. It looks like we've got a truck we need to deal with up here. Okay, this shouldn't be too hard to do. Alright. This rifle can stop a truck. Don't worry about it. Alright, they're out, and let's go ahead and clean. And alright, an Azrael drone is coming. These guys will bring wolves down on you. Wolves are pretty difficult to deal with, especially if they get on the ground. Sometimes you can avoid them by avoiding their drones. Sometimes you can avoid them by avoiding the helicopters that come in looking for you. The Azrael seems to be pretty well off, and these guys have dispersed a little bit more, so we can go ahead and take care of them. Let's move up and take care of the guy hiding behind the boulder here a little bit close range. Actually, no, we want to continue to kill with these. That's not hard to do. Bam. Remember, we have that dual sight, so we can still fight close, close to our medium range with this rifle fairly efficiently. So there we go, a few more with a sniper rifle. Looks like we got the 150 meters challenge taken care of pretty easily. That doesn't seem too hard at all. Okay, holding our breath. So, if you're playing on the PC, what you'll do is you'll hold space, and that'll give you a bit more of a stable aim, and it'll zoom in just a little bit more. And that's one of the ways that you get these ultra long shots that are going to help you kind of level the playing field. Looks like we have another guy. Hey, look at that. Bam. End of his story, and problem is solved. Okay, hey, look at this. Let's go ahead and bring out... This is one of our more interesting toys. This is our sink shot drone. These things are real dangerous. We like them though. So there's two guys here. So we want to mark 1. We want to mark 2. And we want to mark... Well, we want to mark 3 of them. Oh!
I got 6 months left. Get up on that raise.
Oh, that did not go well. So our sink shot drone got one of the guys, but I wasn't able to show you as much as I wanted to. That's because I let the guy see me. I was too interested in the flying box overhead. So these guys right here, you can't really see it very well there, but you got a bit of a glance a moment ago. Those things are cargo drones, and they do typically have something in them. At least a little something. Whether it be parts that you can use for crafting, or an actual piece of equipment. A couple more guys. Let's go ahead and... Man, that sucked. I just didn't have very good aim on that second guy. So I didn't let my rifle settle first, and that was my problem. No, I'm just not... There we go. So, we'll ignore the fact that I took, far more shots to hit him than I needed to. We'll take the things from the back of this, and that completes half of our side mission that we picked up. Go back over here and pick up our information so we won't leave anything important behind. There we go. We can go ahead. Oh, wait, let's see. No, don't get in the car. Look at the investigation. Og. Those aren't bad, but we don't need SMGs yet. Once we get past the sharpshooter levels, we'll go ahead and use one of the other ones. Now, the Panther uses SMGs quite nicely. We like the Panther. Okay, look at this. It looks like we might be close to the second piece of that. Let's find out. Or a whole nother mission. Sacred Land. A whole nother mission. Okay. Let's go up here. So it looks like we found a couple of more things along the way than we expected, but so far seems like we've gotten a few things to add to our collection. We've got a couple of missions, and we're here ready to start an entirely new one. So let's go ahead and have a conversation with her. Hello.
What's happening here?
A powerful evil has infiltrated the ancient forest. 3 great machines have taken root near Lake Clearwater, devouring the trees and spirit of our land with their greed. Our families, our children, and our loved ones have fled for their lives. They are terrified of what will become of this cherished and sacred land.
Then why are you still here?
I was praying that the spirits would send a brave warrior to help us in our moment of need.
Here I am.
The energy that flows through this island is no longer balanced. This disturbance will cause the land to rot from the inside out.
Look, I don't know anything about spirits or restoring balance to the island, but I'm happy to help.
This land is alive. It has spirits that can be both generous and cruel. The same merciful spirits who brought us baskets of knowledge can also be merciless. Few embrace the warmth of the spirits, while many are seduced by their dark and alluring power. Before you embark on your quest, you must choose a path. Embrace the generous nature of the spirits, shedding no blood in their name, and the forest will guide you. Embrace the spirit's malicious nature, and your enemies will tremble where they stand. Choose your path wisely, brave warrior.
Okay, interesting. A bit of a choice given to us in that statement. Do we get to be vengeful, murderous spirits, or do we get to be calm, merciful spirits? I guess we'll decide when we get there. But for now, I'm going to say our plate is getting pretty full in this particular session, and I'm going to let you go until next time. Thank you very much, operators, for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Just for a little bit of encore, we'll take these guys out as a way to say goodbye.